Hi everyone, and this is Gail Scott. This is part 2 of a 3-part video series on what is channeling. In part 1, I explained what channeling really is and why it works and how consciousness is related to it, and one easy step that you could use to begin to start your own experience of channeling. So in this second video, what I'm going to do is explain to you a little bit about how you can make channeling more successful for yourself and how to understand the opportunity that channeling brings to you and how to actually create it on an ongoing basis. So in order to ensure that you are successful in your channeling experience, you have to be willing to start channeling. And this can be a little scary for people. I know for me, it was a very new and different kind of experience until I began to understand the benefit that it could offer me. And it was a transition, let's say, into thinking that I knew things based on what my brain was telling me versus what my heart was telling me. So you have to be willing to set aside doubt or questioning so that the information that's coming through can come through with some flow. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy at the beginning, but if you have any sense of disbelief that it is real, it's not going to work, basically. So you need to kind of tell your conscious mind that, okay, this is happening. This is new and different. And even though I don't understand what's happening in the channeling experience, I'm going to let it happen. I'm going to allow myself to accept these messages, or in the case of intuition, with these nudges, these signs, and I'm going to follow through with them based on trusting that the information is accurate and helpful. Now, most of the time when we get intuitive hits, we tend to ignore them. But if you're someone who has had experience of that, you'll know that you get more than one. So when you ignore your intuition, it will come back and knock on your door again. If you happen to ignore it more than once or twice, then generally it comes back stronger and stronger. So this is your first sign of how to be successful in this intuitive channeling experience with yourself, is to set aside the fact that it might seem uncertain, it might be unknown, it might not make sense. But if you can set aside that kind of logical, trying to understand it part of you and just allow it to flow, then you're going to be more successful. So sometimes we do that unconsciously. And for some channelers, they channel what is called light language. And that is a galactic language that is not generally understood here in the physical human realm in 3D on planet Earth. And so when that is happening to a channeler, they kind of really have to set aside their ego to process through the understanding of the light language, because the ego does not understand what's going on. And in fact, you could call it really an out-of-body experience, although it's not really an out-of-body experience, but for all intents and purposes, it really is. So we're all constantly flowing information back and forth. And we do it between individuals, we do it between our environment, we do it contextually, we do it with our bodies. There's always fluid, constant, energetic motion going on. And if you think of the word emotion, it really is just energy in motion. And because we are sentient beings and we have a very strong emotional component to how we live our lives, you can see that there is energy constantly flowing back and forth. And in video number 1, I did explain a little bit more about energy and consciousness and how that works together. So channeling is the opportunity for you to acknowledge that flow that is constant between you, others, the universe, Earth. Everything that is happening is this constant flow. And sometimes our ego, our own individual judgment, can get in the way of us really receiving this constant flow of energetic consciousness, this information that we can gain. If we can set aside our ego or our judgment or our questioning, just enough that we can actually gain the wisdom that's coming through to us, that can be very useful. So it's not wisdom that you don't have. It is just wisdom that you haven't accessed yet, because we're all living at a certain vibrational level. So in the spiritual world, we talk about how we all exist at a certain vibration. And that vibration is the movement of the energy. And it's used in all kinds of ways to describe how things work, especially in science. So here we have an atom that vibrates at a certain level. And then we have physical matter that vibrates at a certain level. And as you move up in energy, the energetic charge goes up, meaning the vibration is higher. And the higher you're vibrating, the more access you have to other vibrations, and you can then receive messages from other vibrational energies, other consciousnesses. And much like a radio wave is received by an antenna, this is a similar way that you would describe your ability to channel. So if you are the antenna and that energy wave is coming into you and you are open to receive it, and you are able to vibrate at a similar energetic frequency as the message that's coming through, then you are beginning to channel. Now, other beings, other species, not humans, but other beings in other realms, other dimensions, other planets, other parts of the universe, they are actually able to telepathically channel between themselves. And so this gives them the opportunity to share information with one another, but that's at a very, very different energetic level. And it's not something that we as humans have access to right now, but we will, because our energetic dimension here on planet Earth is changing. But we will have access to telepathy, but not right now. It's not something that we're going to talk about today. Maybe they'll give me some more information about that in the future. So simply put, channeling is the ability to pick up those energetic messages that are being directed to you and to be able to decipher them, translate them, use them, and forward them perhaps to others or even just yourself, so that you who is receiving the message and anyone listening or hearing at that same energetic dimensional level, so it makes sense to you all. And so as long as your level of consciousness, your vibrational level, your awareness is similar, then you're going to be able to both access, understand, and use the information that's coming forward. Now, the other thing to understand about channeling is that it really does offer you an opportunity to expand. So it offers you the opportunity to expand your own consciousness level. Because when you hear a higher vibrational message coming through, that means that your energy level has to rise in order to be able to get the message. So it's a really perfect opportunity for growth and expansion. And so that growth and expansion happens both in your consciousness level and in your intelligence for both the channeler and anyone who's hearing the message, or anyone who is feeling the energy that is being transmitted by the channel. And so what I've been told is that when, and I call them transmissions, when my transmissions come through me, I'm being upgraded. The person who is listening to the message is being upgraded. And when I say upgraded, I mean their energetic level is shifting. And there are what are called key codes that come down as the channeling is coming through, and that can create an energetic shift for you and for the channeler and for the energetic field in which you are living. So there's lots of different ways that you can experience channeling and different ways that it can be successful. And in part 3 of this video, I will share with you some of the things that get in the way and why channeling might not work, or why you might have some fear around it, and some of the shifts that are going to be coming forward for us moving forward as Gaia, our planet Earth, vibrates higher, and as we, the species that live on her, also vibrate higher. So look forward to video number 3. Thank you.